Sup everybody, welcome to Special Unique People for the first time pilot episode, if people would like to call it like that.
Okay.
I talked about it during Better Buzz last episode, that this is meant to, interview general people, nobody famous really, but I got inspired by looking. I love interviews, I've always liked them. I got inspired by watching interviews, but also I don't know if everybody remembers the John Krasinski Good News thing. I like that a lot, where he was just presenting good news to people, and I felt like that was very nice and sweet and made people feel good. So this is what it's meant, is to make people feel good watching. Obviously, it should be funny. Hopefully, Lito's a little funny.
We'll see.
But
I am famous. I don't know why he say I wasn't famous. I'm famous.
That's true. Honestly, you're probably going to be the most famous person I have here, not going to lie. I'm not going to front about it. But yeah, it's meant for that, to make people feel good. And it's called Special Unique People because everybody's special and unique in their own way. I really believe that everybody's special.
I appreciate that.
So we'll get started with Lito Legend interview. Let's get it. All right. Well, first question is probably the hardest one here. You ready? You ready for this? First question is a hot dog a sandwich?
That's a tough one. Actually, I would say yes, because this might be pretty funny, but I've actually cut hot dogs in slices, put cheese, and put them on not buns, hot dog buns, but on
bread buns.
So
not bread like slices.
Yeah, so I have made sandwiches out of weenies, hot dogs. Yeah, so I want to say yes.
There's no right or wrong answer, but that was the right answer.
Okay.
Nah, I'm playing. No, I mean, a lot of people think no. I always thought yes. To be honest, it looks like a sandwich. Two bread on a hot dog. I was asking Kuka if people know Kuka. She was saying no, but she's lying.
I made it. I've made it myself in my own creation as a sandwich. Considered like, I made myself a hot dog sandwich.
It is.
So I would say a hot dog is a sandwich.
That's 100% true. The other one was cereal soup, but you don't have to go over that one if you don't want to think about it.
Cereal soup. I have warmed up my cereal. That's a old throwback Latino Hondureño.
I think that is a Latino Hondureño thing.
Latino Hondureño thing. My mom in the middle of the night would or we're watching her novelas when she used to sit down and watch novelas. My tia, I remember your mom.
Yeah.
And my other tia too, Edie's and Irene. And they've warmed up my cereal before and thrown some bananas in there.
Let me say two things real quick.
Okay.
One, soup does not have to be warm. So it could be, there's cold soup. And everybody knows this.
Okay.
Number two, I remember going to UCSB and we had a little dining area, you know. And I would get my cereal and I put it in the microwave and warm it up for 30 seconds. Because I kind of like it soggy. But I remember one girl was like, "Why are you warming up your cereal?" And I was like, "I don't know, because it tastes good." Yeah. I've always done it. I know people are going to look at me weird because of that. But it's something that, I guess it's a Latino Hondureño thing, right?
I guess
but,
so.
It tastes so much better and people really do.
I've seen Mexicans do it though. I've known like friends' moms and stuff like that do it as well, and so maybe it's a Latino thing. But I was gonna say, it just has a good taste to it. One other thing, and then it just reminds me when you're warming up something in liquid, reminds me of soup. So I would say yes.
I would say yes too. Kuka done now, but we'll see what other people think later on. All right, this is kind of unique to you. Everybody calls you Lito. If you ask anybody, do you know Lito, they'll know who you are. But if I say your name Orlis, they're probably gonna be like, "Who's that?" You know? Yeah. Maybe some people do. Yeah. But maybe at your job, right? Yeah. Orlis, they call him Orlis. But I was gonna ask you, what is your name then? It's what?
My name?
Yeah, Orlis.
Orlis.
Ese
es mi nombre.
Orlis. Everybody knows you as Lito. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, where does Lito come from? And also the second nickname that a lot of people know you from is Primo. So I wanted you to talk about that.
Okay. Lito comes from because it's like the same name as my dad, es Orlis, Orlin, los dicen a nosotros porque hay Orlins en Honduras. So they say like you know, Orlean or Orleans. We're both Orleans, so Orlito is a way of saying junior. And so with my tia, my mom, and everybody else, just kind of sometimes they would get mad at my dad. And so they tried to take the OR Orlito, which was my original nickname for junior, because we have the same name. Got separated, and so Orlis and Orlito and all that got separated, and it was just easier, kind of like the Dominicans that use Tito. You know, Tito is like, hey, Tito, you know, it's like a junior. You know, like the Mexicans have junior, you know. And so that's basically where it comes from, Lito, because they just call me Orlito. They try to mix in junior with my dad's name, and so it became easier to say just Lito.
Yeah, everybody likes that name too.
Yeah,
Lito, huh?
everybody loves that name. Anywhere I go, like, oh, Lito, hey, Lito. It just sounds good, I guess. You know, it has a good sound to it, tone to it. I guess it fits my personality too. People have heard that.
And you like it that people call you Lito?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. You know, it's a way of saying like junior. I feel like they're calling me the junior when they say Lito, you know, and it has its own character to it. I haven't met too many Litos, so I met one actually.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and he was not even from Honduras.
Where was he?
It was like from Uruguay.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Uruguay over there, Lito. Shout out to you.
The other Uruguayo that I know, Lito.
Hey. What do you call when people have the same name as you? I forgot. It's your tocayo?
Tu tocayo.
Alright, well, whatever.
Mi tocayo.
They call you primo too, I guess, because, you know.
Well, primo is because I have a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I have cousins from anywhere. My dad's side, my mom's side, big families, a lot of cousins. And so I used to do where I used to, even my own sisters, like I'll call Helen Ashley and Ashley Helen, you know, just because we talk so fast, you know, we like that, and so you mix up the names, and so when I have so many cousins like that, it was easy for me to say primo, you know, like primo, even if I'm with my other primos. And so everybody noticed that I say primo a lot, and they're like, hey, el primo, and they got stuck. And in certain areas, like, hey, ¿qué onda, primo? You with your crowd, you know, your friends. Soccer, primo, you know, and I have other friends that, and then I guess in deep Mexico too, in Guerrero, I heard that they call each other like, hey, primo, even if they're not cousins, but if they know each other and then from the same street, it's like, hey, primo, you know? Well-known friends, compadres, stuff like that. And so it got stuck to me as well.
I like this question a lot because nicknames are really special to everybody, very unique to everybody too. For example, me, my name is Freddie. A lot of people know me as Freddie, but a lot of people know me as Mingo as well. And it just feels nice when somebody calls you Mingo. But not just anybody can call me Mingo, you know? Like, some random people just call you Mingo. It's like, who are you? You know?
To call me Mingo.
But, nah, I don't really mind. But it does feel a little weird, not gonna lie. But I like it when my special friends, my closer friends, my family calls me Mingo. I don't know why. It makes me feel, nice. Yeah. You know? I guess it's like family, right? Yeah. All right, we'll move on. We've been talking about family, so I got a good question for you here.
Okay.
Who are your favorite relatives?
Oh, that's easy for me.
Yeah?
Actually, it's really easy. It's my grandma.
Your grandma?
My grandma is my favorite relative.
Grandma from your mom's side?
From my mom's side, because when my dad there passed away, but...
Abuela Emma?
Emma, yeah, you know, mi abuelita, Emma, she's my favorite for 100% sure, you know, like, we just vibe together. She's usually at my mom's house, you know, and when she comes visit here in the United States, and she stays a lot with my mom, but, you know... everybody has their sides to her life and the way they're gonna look at her. I only met her in one way, and which is just like a sweetheart old lady. Is funny because she makes these little jokes that I don't see she makes with other people, and she tells me about you know, war stuff in Honduras and these stories that probably she doesn't tell a lot of people, Indian stuff, and she is an Indian, and she tells me all this other stuff of when she was a little kid, and she likes the casino, and she, you know, she just bugs me, and she tells me about women and stuff. So definitely, My grandma's my number one. You know, we don't talk as much as we can. Obviously, she's all the way over there. I'm over here.
Honduras.
You know, and she's in Honduras and stuff like that. But you know, ever since that I can remember, she's always treated me the exact same way. It could be different for the rest of the family. You know,
Yeah.
Everybody can be different in situations, but we just talk about stories that are or I just sit there and listen to her sometimes, and she tells me like about this general she met, you know, and he killed all these people and stuff like crazy story. Like you're like, I saw a novella about that, you know, or like I've seen that in a documentary, but she doesn't know about documentary and all that. She's already going into her deep age, you know. She's just cute. She's just funny. She'll take pictures. I've even had a drink with her, and I don't think nobody's ever. They're always watching to take care of her. And one time she was like, "Oh, let me get a little bit of wine, and I'll drink some wine with you." That was pretty special. I thought, like, I see her be
secrets being revealed over here.
Yeah, I seen her. Yeah, I seen her be in a different way with me. You know, she's just there for me and stuff like that. Yeah, when I'm just there, like she'll ask me some random, just like this show, you know. Right now it's random questions. She'll ask me some random stuff like nobody's ever asked me that before, you know. So it makes me feel good. I want to say she makes me happy, you know. It brings me down, calms me down.
That's good. I mean, learn a lesson here. Everybody should have a grandma or a grandpa. You know, don't take it for granted. Your parents too. Everybody makes mistakes. We've all heard stories about our grandma's mistakes and stuff like that. But if people are trying to change, you know, obviously it's hard to let it go. But we need to learn how to and to forgive and stuff, because that way we can enjoy our family more and be happier together.
That's what I see. I think with me, she probably trying to
do a little different,
go a different way, or redeem herself in a way or something like that, you know. And
you do see that with grandparents a lot with their grandchildren. And sometimes the kids are like, why didn't you do that with me, and why are you doing it with my children? But it's like, I messed up. I'm sorry, but let me show you that I love you by like taking care of your kids and stuff like that. All right. Another, going back to this. You have siblings, right?
Yeah.
This might be a hard question, but I wanted you to rank your siblings for me on this show. Your siblings are definitely gonna watch you. If you're not comfortable,
yeah, I'm definitely comfortable. I'll rank him up. Definitely, Stevie's number one. He's my brother. We're only a year apart, you know. He's number one. You know, my sisters are gonna be always talking smack, but they got each other, you know. It's girl, got boy. It's four of us. You know, and then I got siblings from my dad's side as well, you know, but I'm closer obviously with my mom's side, and you know.
So Stevie,
and then I think it's gonna be Ashley, then Helen, just the way they were born in order. I'm gonna respect the order.
Honest, I'll give you props for that. That was very brave of you. I don't think I could do that in front of the camera, because that's scary for sure. Hopefully they don't watch. I'm pretty sure Stevie will watch, so he'll be very happy to hear that he's your best friend and stuff. But that was hard.
My best sibling, right?
Ranking your best, ranking your best siblings for you, Okay, well, we'll go on. I was gonna ask you this question, but I think you answered it already. I was gonna ask you someone you will always remember. I'm pretty sure you were gonna say about our grandma Emma. So you always remember her. Did you have anybody else in mind, real quick?
No, well, my kids, you know.
Oh, and I was gonna ask you that. So your kids, obviously. Rank your kids then. I'm just kidding. No, we don't want to get there.
The ones that are not born yet, or you know, we can't go there right now.
All right.
They're too young for that.
Well, we'll move on to question number 4. What's your favorite memory with me? Since we're both here, if you had to think of one memory, you're like, oh dang, I love that memory. Maybe Better Buzz. I don't know. Maybe the soccer field. Maybe when we were smaller. I don't know.
I think it was when we were smaller. Like when we were really small, that you might not remember. When me, you, Freda, Santa, Angie, Raymond. We used to have parties, you know, Christmas parties and stuff like that. And then so our parents, so we wouldn't see what they were doing stuff and like that in the room. They'd throw us in the room, you know, like, you guys got to play in here, you know. And we used to play wrestling. Everybody knows how that goes, you know. If you don't know, you'll find out later on, if you're young and watching this video. But yeah, you know, I remember it was just like all the kids of that, but then I would remember with you personally, I would use you kind of like as a rag doll, you know, and I would pick you up and like like Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestling, WWF, and since you were like the smallest one, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pick up Freddie, and you know, and then but it used to be fun because you used to say, well, let's do it again. You were a little bit chubbier when you were smaller, so you know you look great, you know, and stuff in roles reversed, but I remember you said, hey, let's do it again. And it was just like one of those things where like you play with your cousin for up till maybe 2 a.m. till we got tired because they weren't even going to come in and check in the room. So it was till we got tired. Definitely we would do it at your mom's house too, you know. I remember a lot. I actually have really good memory. I even remember stuff when I was 3 years old and stuff like that.
You know what I remember the other day? Remember when I went over to your house and I was playing the Madden with Stevie and you were there and you were going to play too? I remember, like, I think I will always remember this, but I remember going to your house when I was little and we would play a lot of, I think it was Nintendo 64 probably.
64 it was.
And the game that I remember always is the 007 game.
Yeah,
you remember that?
The gold member.
It's a classic game everybody knows about, but it was a very fun game. I remember playing that with you guys, as well as any sports game, you know. I think that's where I started playing video games and stuff. But yeah, I remember that as well.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. That was a very cute story. I cried a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw. Next question is gonna be, who was your first love?
Ooh. And my first love, and it sucks because I've always been in love with women. I think my first love was like when I was like 8 years old. I was in love with this girl like since the very beginning. You know, we were just like, we saw each other and then we were already boyfriend and girlfriend without even knowing, like, without me even asking her. She had already wrote a note like, you know, like you want to be my boyfriend?
Wow.
Like, she wrote it to me, you know, and I was just like, oh man, I've never had a girlfriend, you know, and I think it was like real love because I went out with her since like 8 till like 10, 11-ish throughout like the whole like elementary going into middle school.
Yeah, we
were going out. And it was like, usually, you know, it's like, oh, you're a little kid, you know, by next week, you guys are not going out no more, you know. And no, we would just sit together, eat together. Her mom give me a ride home and stuff because I used to walk a lot. And so she would give me a ride home. Yeah, you know, I think that's because I think I felt love for her, you know. I used to like write her little notes and letters or dedicate a song when we got older and stuff like that, and then you tend to lose that when you get older, you know. Becomes more like, oh, let's go and have a drink or let's go and watch a movie.
So it was very, very innocent.
But yeah, it was innocent, but there was a lot of contact and it wasn't like, you know, like body contact. It was like spirit contact, you know.
Almost like your best friend then.
Yeah, it was the best friend love. So that's why I think that one's the one you like feel, you're like, you know, everything. And then she moved to Texas or something like that. But, you know, I wouldn't say like, oh, man, we would have grown up and got married or something like that. But it's just one of those where, like, it was, the spirits was right, you know, all the way through. And then through in the beginning of middle school and stuff like that, like, still the same thing. You know, it was just like writing their letters, you know, we celebrate everything together, eat lunch together. Even in recess, she was a little bit tomboyish. And so I used to like that a lot too, because we competed against each other in sports and stuff. So it was just good in the right spaces. And you know, I've had a lot of, I fell in love with other girls, but with problems. As you get older, they don't like this, they don't like that. At that time, I think we liked each other.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
All right. Now, that was a very, very cute story. I mean, I'm pretty sure maybe one day you can make it into a film.
Hey, you never know. Everybody's making money off the stories, you know?
All right, we'll move on. All right, we'll get a little bit more humorous. Funniest drunk story or any story that you think people will like here that was funny. I mean, to be honest, while you think about it, to be honest, Lito has some crazy stories. Everybody he talks to, like my friends, everybody, they're always intrigued on what he's gonna say because his stories are funny. What do you got? You got anything right now that you can think of?
That I can think of.
On top of your head, yeah.
When I was drunk.
Or maybe just regular, sober. I don't know, just a funny story.
Just like a really funny story. I want to say one time when I was drunk, you know, I sneaked into a girl's room, you know, through the window or whatever. I was like maybe around 16, I think, you know, and it was pretty funny because I went in there, you know, I was initiating contact, we were making out and things and stuff like that, and her parents weren't home. And so basically, you know, we're doing things, and then I'm in the room, and then out of nowhere, the parents come back in like less than 30 minutes. And I think they just kind of opened the door, and I was like, oh, what do we do? Like, hide. Where do I hide? And he's like, no, my dad's not like that. He'll beat you up, and you gotta leave. But I was naked.
Oh, I thought you guys were like reading or playing video games.
No.
Things. I got confused here.
Nah.
You were like studying,
Not yet. Each other's bodies, you know. And so I was completely naked, and I was like, I'm not gonna go out the window naked, but I couldn't find my clothes, and you can hear like he's coming in, and he's coming in to open the door, footsteps. I was just young, and so like I was like, whatever. I jumped out naked out the door. And I was like, throw me something. She throws me her shirt and her underwear. And I was just like, oh, snap. And then she's like, hey, who's right there? Why is all that noise? And then, so I just put her shirt, her underwear, and I start running down the street like hard. And I live far, but like, this was in North Park. I lived on Mississippi Street. And she lived on around Arizona.
About how many miles do you think?
No, it's not miles. It was like I would have not ran. I would have not ran if it was miles. It was like 7 blocks.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna make it home in a girl's underwear with a girl shirt on. I'm running down, and I'm just like with my eyes closed, running down. And I hear people honking, hey!
Wait, what time was it? Like
this
day?
Was like 3 o'clock. We did school.
Oh,
this was like before 3 o'clock. This is like 1 o'clock. And middle of the day, I run naked. I'm wearing and it was funny because she had some pink underwear with a yellow shirt. So you could already imagine SpongeBob mixed with Patrick, something like that. Oh my God! I'm running down the street, and I can hear people honking, hey, pee, like, hey, sexy girl. And that time I was fit. Right now I would have probably been more humiliated, you know, but I was fit. But it was, you know, I could just imagine people thinking, and I'm just running home. And then I get home, and I'm like, I made it. My mom opens the door, and she's like, this is the way I raised you? What are you doing? And I was like, no, que me vengo de una casa de una huirra, you know, like I don't even want to explain to you. Yeah. She's like, let me get in, and she's like, no, ahora te quedas afuera.
So she made you stay outside?
Yeah, she made me stay outside, but then I went around, jumped in the room. I was embarrassed for like a week, I think that, and then.
Did you talk to her again or no?
The girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still talk to her again. She's like, oh, my dad found your pants and your shirt.
So she got in trouble?
She got in trouble.
Did she get kicked out naked too?
There should have been like that. And the funny thing, it was like, we were drinking a little bit. Like when I was running, imagine running kind of buzz.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was I slipped one time. You know, it was pretty embarrassing. I think that has to be one of the funniest stories because, like, you know how many people were thinking wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like my mom was thinking wrong.
Yeah, that must be super super crazy to be
Yeah.
honest. And then the run and. You're probably barefoot too.
Yeah, no, yeah. I left my pants, my shoes, my shirt. I left it
at
for
1 p.m. Was it hot or?
Nah, it wasn't too hot, but it was pretty bad. You know, like imagine just running out like, and I'm talking about like naked. I mean, this is girls' underwear.
No, yeah, the
fit me like a bikini.
Yeah,
you know, like so. My butt's hanging out from the sides. You know, it was.
I wonder if anybody recorded that. If you recorded that, you know, send it to Better Buzz.
So because you would have had one of those big old recording, you know, but it was fun. One of the funniest times I've ever had.
That was a
and
good
I still remember that. It was pretty crazy.
All right, weirdest thing you have seen at someone's house.
Weirdest thing?
Yeah, something that you went inside and you're like, what the heck?
Weirdest thing that I've seen. The weirdest thing I've seen in somebody's house, I think it had to be like, this one guy, he had like a water bed, you know, like in his living room. Like he had his living room set up like if it was his room, but his house was big, you know. So it kind of threw me off. I was a little weirded by that. That was like, he had a big house, not where you would say, okay, it was a little studio. He just has a water bed, you know. He's
on the living room.
This was in the living room.
Yeah, in the living room.
In the living room. I think this was kind of weird. I was like, probably the weirdest thing that I've ever seen.
Okay, all right.
I think that has to be that was pretty weird. You know, you walk into the house and you're like,
the living room. Maybe the guy was like that type of person that if he brought a girl, he didn't want it to go to the room. It just wanted it to happen right away. But I don't know.
I'm talking about a family man.
Oh,
he has family and everything.
Or maybe he lived like maybe they didn't sleep together or something.
I guess that was pretty weird.
Whatever. We'll go on to. Congrats, you're gonna have a baby boy. Finally, you have a boy coming.
Yeah.
What is the worst name you can put for your child?
It's gonna be easy again because I think the joking name that my mom and your mom would say would be Panfilo.
Panfilo. I never even met anybody named Panfilo. But...
Yeah. Mira, ahí va Panfilo. You know, that's
your mom says another one too.
Yeah.
I forgot which one it was. Tiburcio?
Tiburcio. Mira, Tiburcio. And those
I
are
like
real...
that name, Tibu. Like, hey, Tibu, come over here.
That is a clown name. Like, oh, hey, Tiburcio, man. Like, and that's something my mom would say. Panfilo.
Panfilo is a pretty bad one.
Yeah.
Tiburcio is like, Panfilo is like, I don't know what's going on.
I think that would be the worst name.
All right. All right, we're gonna go with a little lightning round to go a little bit quicker.
Okay.
It's gonna be more of would you rather questions. So here's the first one: would you rather have a get out of jail free card or a key that opened every door?
Ooh, a key that opened every door.
Okay, that's interesting. Like it's just interesting how you would rather have that. Yeah. I was talking to my niece about it, and she was saying the same thing, but. I mean, if you open, like, you can open, like, I don't know, like a safe. You have the key to it. Yeah. You get all the money. Yeah. But what happens if you get arrested, you know?
Bail myself out with that money.
Oh, or the key, right? Because you have a key to the cell, too.
So
you can just leave. Wow, okay. All right, would you rather be the funniest person or the smartest person in the world?
I'd rather be the smartest person in the world. Why? Because, you know, you tend to make better moves. Funny, you can be a funny guy and still do a lot of dumb moves, you know, and kind of just be funny to cover the dumb stuff. Okay. You know, I look at it that way. I'd rather be the smarter guy in the room. Okay.
This is a very interesting question. I'm not sure if you watch a lot of shows, but you can put movies. But what show or sitcom or movie would you want to be in or be part of? Anything. Novelas, anything.
And there's this one right now. It's called All American.
Okay.
You know, it's a football one. It's a football theme. But just the story, you know, certain things about it, I can relate. And then I've always been a big sports fan, you know, and if I would have focused a little bit more on sports and other stuff than partying and certain things that I did, it reminds me a lot of it. So I think because I think I could have been a better athlete than what I am, and especially younger because younger I played 3 sports with football, soccer, and basketball, and I even played a little bit of baseball. So I used to like to play sports, boom, 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 and I did pretty well in all sports.
Yeah.
I was all around, and so this one's called All American. It's kind of like an all around football player where you play multiple positions, but the trending around his friendship, the drinking, the streets, certain things remind me of my childhood growing up and certain paths that I chose instead of choosing them. And this one, in this thing, he's choosing the right ones, but in my life, I chose a couple wrong ones, and but I see the same scenario, certain things as like invites to parties, to invites to let's go work out early morning and do this routine or something like that. So certain things like that.
So for the kids watching, teenagers, anybody pretty much, even adults now, any advice that you want to say?
Yeah, as far as that?
Yeah.
Try to get your parents involved. If you really love something, I think I just kind of went with the flow of like, oh, if my mom doesn't like soccer, like, oh, like, I'm not gonna just put all my heart to it. I was like, well, maybe I like stuff that they like or stuff like that. If you really love a sport, I want to say you should just go up to your parents, because most people that really love sports think they can do it by themselves. And I think the support of your family actually, can bring out a better, just having somebody at a game means a lot, and I just kind of never put that pressure on my family. And so I would suggest to all young people that really love sports to get your family involved, whether it's just like, oh, come see me play, can you take me to practice, constantly ask, constantly keep pushing, because if you really love the sport, if you push hard enough, I think you can do certain things that are higher than doing it by yourself. Of course, yeah, there is that mentality where I can do anything by myself, anything's possible. But I think if you got support, even sometimes the support doesn't even come from your family, but
a mentor.
Mentors and stuff like that. If you can get support, get it, because it'll help you. Everybody that's older you has a little bit more knowledge. They might not have the best. They might not be the, a Tom Brady of the world's, the LeBron James of the world's, mentors, but any help, any good advice helps, but I would recommend get your family involved, get a parent to see why you love the sport, explain to them why you want them to help you, whether it's financially or with rides to practices, to be at games.
Okay.
Just get involved.
That's great. That's very, very good advice. Okay, would you rather have unlimited food or unlimited travel?
I love food. I think I'm going food.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm going food though.
Think about it like this: unlimited food gets you any food for free, whatever, right? Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Unlimited travel gets you any transportation for free. Yeah, you can have pretty much any car, or you can have Ubers for free. You can go to any World Cup because you have unlimited travel. Any big sports events, but yeah, unlimited food. Okay. Celebrity crush right now?
Right now, yeah. I have always been in love with Shakira.
Shakira, if you're listening.
Shakira, if Pique's not working out,
I didn't mean it like that. I meant like a shout out or something, not like that.
Shakira just playing those hips still rock.
Those hips don't lie for sure.
They don't lie. She's just that amazing. Authentic. She was authentic.
Shakira is something else for sure.
She's so beautiful. My crush.
All right, last question, and we're wrapping it up. It's kind of dark, but it's for good stuff. Okay. If you died tonight, what would you regret not doing?
Oh, that's crazy. Throughout my life?
Or you haven't done something, or throughout your whole life.
If I died today, I would regret not being there for my kids. I think.
Because like you would die.
I would die, and then I would leave them without a father.
Okay, but so my next question would have been, why haven't you done it? But technically, that's what you're gonna do. So that's
what I want to do. Be there for them. Whether it's if they like sports or not, I'm not in a pressure push or nothing like that, but I want to do what they like and stuff like that, and be there for them. So that would probably be my biggest regret. Because there's regrets of my personal life, but there's circumstances to that kind of stuff. I would have said, studied harder, worked out harder, sports. That would have been my route to go. But I think it would be deeper for me to leave my kids at a young age without a dad. So if I died today, I think it would be that.
That was cute. And to put an end to this first show.
There you go.
Very,
first
very
show.
cute. All right, thank you so much, Primo. Thank you so much, Lito. Or Lito. It was a pleasure having you. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to watch this because they're going to want to know more about you and hear some of your crazy stories. that was a crazy story.
I got some crazy ones.
I'm probably going to bring you back at some point again to like talk about another story like that. But
I got some crazy ones.
Savage.
It was pretty bad.
All right.
Take care. Later, y'all.